Now, the other point that needs to be emphasized here, while we are looking at the Prophet ﷺ, is to recognize the fact that the Prophet lived at a time when human beings were so preoccupied with the drudgeries of life, and human beings did not entertain themselves the way we do now. In the Roman and Greek period, you know from history that the Roman emperors tried to pacify the masses of people by giving them circus and bread, they called them. That's why you had the gladiators. Most of the animals from Libya were taken away from Libya. That's why Libya has no animals today. By the Romans. For the gladiators, you know the gladiators. Because the gladiators had to fight these wild animals. This was one form of entertainment for the Greeks and the Romans. The Muslims could not do that because as Khalifatullah, you're supposed to make sure that there is control of the ecological system, the flora and the fauna, all the flowers and trees on the one hand, and all the animals are supposed to be protected by us. So we could not engage in that form of recreation. You give a gladiator a sword and you let loose a lion from a cage and he kills the lion for fun. We cannot do that. We cannot arbitrarily go and just kill animals like that as a game. We cannot do that as Muslims. But Muslims could go to circuses and see wild animals who are in the custody of human beings, domesticated for the purpose of circuses. Because we Muslims see ourselves as inheritors of the Prophet's tradition. So the Prophet certainly will not say, don't go to a circus. So when we look at the life of the Prophet and his example, what we have to recognize is the fact that Muslims who live at his time had very limited forms of entertainment. And this was not unique to Muslims, this was the state of the human race. Whether they live in China, in India, in the Middle East, in Africa, in Central Asia, there was no America at that time. They had limited forms of entertainment. And much of the sports and recreation was enjoyed by the upper classes.